Are you a health educator who is wanting to do a one-on-one coaching, or maybe you've done one-on-one coaching in the past and you're like, that was exhausting. I do not want to do that again. But you're looking to monetize your health knowledge online and you'd like to know what are some of the best business models that you can use that people would gladly pay you a price for your health advice. This video is for you because we're going to talk about why one-on-one coaching is actually not only grossly inefficient of your time, but it's less effective for your clients. And I'm going to share with you why. Because when you look, I remember in my experience when I first started, I was doing about 8 calls a day. And I was doing one-on-one calls and it would take up my time. And when you look at the calendar, there's only so many hours that you could actually have on your calendar. And if you fill it up with client call, client call, client calls, even just 5 client calls, that's going to fill up a large chunk of your day. And then you don't have anything left to be able to grow your business, to network with industry leaders, to be able to put together content training, to be able to build a team, to leverage, to delegate, to outsource, to travel, to spend time with people you care about. I realized I loved it. I loved doing one-on-one calls with people. I enjoyed the process, but at the end of the day, there's always way more people that I knew I could serve, that I wanted to continue to make a difference in people's lives, but I was just limited by the number of hours in a day. And I remember just getting up, doing calls till lunch, and sometimes even having some calls during lunch over the phone, and then continuing after, throughout the afternoon, and just going from call to call to call. And it can get exhausting, even if you enjoy it. There's only so many hours in a day. But when you look at my calendar now with client calls, then it's like what you can do is this is 50 clients having one slot for an hour, hour and a half, and you have an evergreen group that people are able to come in. It's an open doors. That this allows you to have an infinitely scalable business. It takes the same amount of time to serve 5 clients as it does to serve 50 clients. You think that's going to make a big difference to your income or to your business if you're able to learn how to scale your business, scale your operations, the impact that you're having in other people's health? Absolutely. And I'm going to share with you some of the common mistakes that many health educators make that prevents them from monetizing with a group coaching model. And first of all, one of the biggest lies is thinking that everything needs to be customized. Everything needs to be very different for each person. Because the reality is there's about 80% of everything that you're going to teach, you're going to be saying the same things to each of your clients. So there's not that large of a difference between client after client. And yeah, then the last 20% you can cover in the coaching calls. So the problem with the one-on-one is that your income is very capped by your hours. You're still trading time for money in your business, where what I've found is that what you want to do is you want to learn to disconnect your income generation from your time. And as you can see on the screen, the income that you make is going to be very limited by the amount of time that you have. And whenever that's the case, you're always going to be limited on what you're able to earn. So instead, what you want to do is you want to teach, take the 80% that you're going to say, keep repeating again and again and again to different people, record it once, put that into your coaching program that you're able to give the recordings to, and let people go through that. And then the 20% that's really customizable, that's really dependent on each person, answer a lot of those questions in a group coaching program or in a office hours. During these office hours, as people get stuck on implementing the recorded portion, then you're able to take questions and get feedback and be able to give insight together as a group. You see, we have the example of Jesus. Even Jesus, when he called to himself the disciples, he chose 12, and that's who he named the apostles. Jesus understood the power of group coaching, and this is a biblical model that Jesus was often communicating to the crowds and communicating with a group of very close-knit individuals, because coaching still is effective. Now, Granted, Jesus had the faithful regard for the one soul audience. He taught to the woman at the well. He taught Nicodemus. But you see that his normal, who he spent his day in, day out with, his everyday, weekly life, it was with the group of disciples. He was discipling in groups, and it wasn't all entirely just one-on-one things. And I'm not necessarily saying that you have to do one or the other, but what I'm saying is that group coaching is far more effective because, like Jesus was able to build a movement in group leadership, so likewise for your clients, they become a part of a movement. Group coaching is not only better for you, it's better for your clients. It's in their best interest that you serve them in a group, because when you're doing one-on-one coaching, then your coaches can feel isolated, disconnected, not really have that fellowship of people doing something similar, you're not really creating an environment of other people who are normalizing the achievements that your clients want. But now they become a part of a movement, something that's bigger than themselves. They're surrounded by other people like-minded who are trying to solve a similar problem. And so now you've got this group, this family orientation. And like in our coaching program, they love it when there's someone new who joins, like the family's expanding, and they support each other, they encourage each other, they help one another out. And the movement we are building is we're building a movement of health educators who are learning our mission is to empower a movement of health educators to get their message to the masses so they could serve the people that they're called to serve. And you just want to think about, you're more than just a business. You have the opportunity to make a profound difference in the marketplace for the people that you're called to serve. Not only a benefit that they get is that connection with like-minded people, but also your clients, they get to learn questions that they never even thought to ask in a group coaching program. A lot of times, not only are you sharing a lot of the same stuff with one-on-one coaching, but your client doesn't even know what questions they should be asking. But in a group coaching model, that opens the floodgates of people who have the questions, and they're learning from others, and they're like, wow, this is amazing. I didn't even think to ask that, but I'm so glad I got that answer. And your clients are learning these insights and from different angles, the same concepts, similar principles that everyone really has similar problems with. And they're learning from it, whether it's like overcoming appetite, whether it's understanding some nutritional principle. And a lot of times people are hearing and they're like, how does that fit in the context of what I'm doing? And they get so much more value because they're gaining different angles. And that's exactly the experience that I get every month in my High Income Health Expert Challenge. What we do in this challenge is we get together with holistic health educators. We teach you how to monetize your health knowledge online. And when people upgrade to VIP, they get to be a part of this group coaching session. And as people are asking questions about how do I monetize my knowledge? How do I find new clients? How do I craft a signature speech that converts? How do I market myself, stand out from the other competition? We get all sorts of different questions during our VIP coaching sessions on our monthly High Income Health Expert Challenge. And something that I love asking people, I'm like, how many of you, towards the end of the week, I'm like, how many of you learned so much from being a part of this group thing? How many of you got questions and answers that you didn't even think to ask? And all these hands raise up and they're like, yes, that was great. They don't feel like they got less value because there's a group of other people. They actually feel they got more value. In fact, we had Christy who went through our challenge. She said, look, I've paid $5,000. I've done the 10,000 programs. I've done other programs. But this was more valuable than some of these $10,000 programs. She's like, I feel like it's a family. And she saw that this model was extremely effective. I'm not talking about like a large, massive group coaching program with hundreds of people, because it's easy for you to get lost in the sauce there. But if you're like most health educators who are looking to monetize their knowledge online, and maybe you're looking to add an extra $10,000, maybe make your first $10,000 or your first $10,000 a month or an additional $10,000 a month, then like group coaching is a really powerful tool to be able to serve your clients in a way that they otherwise couldn't had you been limiting yourself to one-on-one. Because I was on a call with someone recently, and we were asking, well, how many new clients do you want to take? And they're like, oh, I don't want any more clients. They're just over the top, overwhelmed because they're doing one-on-one coaching. And that's a problem. Is like, if you were to get 100 clients, or if 1,000 people were to sign up with you today, like, and you're doing one-on-one, you can't do it. But if 1,000 people wanted to join our students' coaching programs, like, they'd be able to handle it. They'd be able to go through, because they've created an infinitely scalable business model where they're able to sell from stage, from one to many, and be able to coach one to many, and be able to get testimonials at scale. So it's a really beautiful, beautiful experience. I remember in one of our previous challenges, our High Income Health Expert Challenge, Melanie got on, and Melanie is a vocal wellness coach, and she shares on how people can use the sounds of their voice to create the outcomes that they desire. And she realizes that our voice is a very holistic part of our body in all different areas. So one thing, I was talking about this group coaching, and she's like, well, I can't teach what I do in a group. We deal with a lot of like childhood traumas and the struggles that people go through. It's like, that's so vulnerable. That's not something I can teach. And I told her, I said, of course you can. Look at Roger Love. He has interventions at these events. And she knew who Roger Love was. And for those of you who don't know, Roger Love is a world-renowned voice coach. And he has this event, Voice of Success. I invested in it twice and brought me and my team to attend because it was so powerful. And I first heard Roger Love. I invested about $3,000 to hear him speak in person. And while he was there, he was teaching about the sounds of the voice to an entire group. And then he's like, who here hates their voice? Who doesn't like the way they sound? People would stand up, raise their hand, whatever. He'd walk in the crowd and he'd go talk to the person, and he'd do this intervention. And he would teach them how to create the voice that they would love and the sounds of their voice, and understand how their muscles and different vocal organs work. And he would do these interventions, these transformations in a few moments. And but what he did to one feels like it was done to the whole audience. And it's really eye-opening. It's powerful. We attended Voice of Success online, and I remember he was explaining about someone who had their voice was so soft and it was airy and nobody took her seriously. So what he told her to do was to put more edge in the voice. And by having more edge, the voice is able to carry, not so much airy voice. And he shared, and he overcame the objections like, well, if I speak with more volume, then people are going to feel like I'm yelling, I'm shouting, or I'm angry. He's like, look, no, there is always the same pattern every single time when there's anger. And if you don't have these three elements in that, then it's impossible for you to sound angry. Number one, you're talking with a fast speed. Number two, you have a high volume. And number three is you're monotone. If you're talking slow and you have volume in your voice and you've got a melody, then people don't think you're angry. But when those three things are in place, that's when they feel you're angry. But volume alone does not equal anger. And when he explained that, I noticed a difference even with my team. Because on my team, there's a good chunk of them that have very naturally soft-spoken, airy kind of voice. And by being able to share that, they've been able to speak up, project their voice, be able to be heard so much better. And like he is bringing vocal transformations with people's vocal health in a group setting. And when I said that, she's like, light bulb went on. She's like, of course, that makes so much sense. She's like, I never thought about that. But she was so excited, and that was what helped her to just break free from that before. And so what we did is we helped her to craft her $15,000 offer that she's going to be working with people with their voice. She got her first yes, and now she's traveling the world, and she's speaking at different events like Bali, the Dominican Republic, and different locations. And she's using the story selling secrets that she learned in her speaker training to be able to fill her coaching programs, to be able to create outcomes that people desire and transform the lives that she knows she's called to serve. I mean, when you look at the example of Moses too, Moses was stuck in Exodus 18, that all of these small matters, people would go to Moses and they would say, how do I fix this? What do I do? And all these little things, he was doing a lot of these one-on-one decisions, if you will, in advising and one-on-one. It's essential. It's a form of coaching, but he's got this entire nation. It's pretty intense. So what Jethro told Moses, like, look, you're going to wear yourself out. Instead, put captains over tens. Hey, that sounds like a group. Put captains over 100, put captains over 1,000. So now there's got this group model of delegation. We see that it's like, don't drown, just delegate. And by learning how to lead people in groups, that was God's inspired wisdom to be able to scale the coaching, education, the development, the discipleship, the decision-making of this early nation of Israel coming out of Egypt. And that's one of the ways to avoid exhaustion and burnout, so that you're not overworked, overwhelmed, and underpaid. This is something that I had to learn, and by learning this has helped me to be able to make $10,000 a month in my early 20s and build a multiple six-figure family business. Before this, I was limited on doing a lot of one-on-ones, but then learning how to reach people through groups, whether they're teleseminars or whether they are Zoom calls, or whether, like, I remember back in the day when I first started learning about group coaching, Zoom wasn't even popular. I don't even know if it was around, but Skype was what we mostly use. Google Hangouts, this is like back in 2015. That's more of what we had. And I remember taking a lot of these one-on-one coaching clients and I put them together on a group call, and we started doing these group sessions. And truly, like, a lot of the same stuff I would teach to each individual is literally going through the same framework every time with these different people, and having in a group freed up my calendar. And I was like, whoa, what do I do with all this time? Well, I started to learn how to delegate. I started to learn how to build a team. I started to learn how to involve other people. And I'll be honest with you, at first what I did is I went from doing one-on-one calls with my students, put them in a group, and then I started doing one-on-one calls with like my team members and coaching them and teaching them how to be able to do what I was doing with social media and video editing and website and stuff like that. But eventually I learned about creating SOPs and listening to some leadership podcasts that really helped me to understand better about how to form a team and even have team meetings. And but that was really eye-opening experience nonetheless. And but through this process, now I've been blessed with a team of 7 people, and as we're able to work together, it's so much easier. But I will tell you this, had I maintained that one-on-one coaching model that I was doing before, there's no way I would have been able to free my time up to be able to invest in the leadership that was required to be able to develop a team. A lot of people look and they're like, oh, Enoch, I don't have a team like you. And it's like, well, I didn't have a team when I started. It was learning by how to work in a higher level of leverage, like group coaching, rather than the one-on-one. There's no leverage there. I had to learn how to stop trading my time for money. And by being able to do this, it really opens the doors. And so what I share with people is, when you're selling, let them know that this is a group coaching program, and you're going to be introduced into a group coaching program. And then sometimes people are like, but I don't even have a group coaching program yet. How do I sell that first person? Because if one person says yes, then is it really a group? Because that's kind of one-on-one, right? And I'll just say there's this concept that I like to call the benefits of beginning. And this is how you're able to sell your group coaching to the first person. And I coach my clients through this all the time. And usually my clients would pay me $10,000 to get access to this, but I'm going to share this with you in this video for free. The benefits of beginning is basically looking at, in every circumstance, there's a way for you to frame your beginnings as an actual benefit to your client and a benefit to you. So what does that look like? If you don't have any testimonials yet, or if you don't have any people that you've served, then you could say that, hey, I'm able to serve you in a way that some of the bigger names are not able to help you. And those big names will get lost in the crowd, but we'll be able to work with you more closely. And if you do have testimonials, you're able to position yourself by saying, hey, I've been able to work with all these people. The reason why we've got so many clients is because we get results and we actually help people. We know what we're doing. So either way, wherever you are in the journey, you can frame this as a benefit to your clients. And another thing is, if you're selling your first person, then just let them know, set the expectations up front and share that, hey, this is a group coaching program. More people will be coming soon. The family's going to be expanding quickly, but I'm gifting you the opportunity to be a part of this new group coaching program, which essentially that means that for the first time, it's going to be one-on-one. You'll get my undivided attention. And when the second person comes, they're going to join us. And while I'm coaching you through this process, I share this all up front. I say this in advance. Just about most of the courses that I've created in a group coaching format, recorded it, and then turned those into a course. So you let them know, it's like, hey, what we're going to do is going to be recorded. This is going to be a course that I'm putting together, but I'm going to coach you through this process. That will become the core foundational framework of our other clients as they're coming in, and they're going to be a part of this group. And as long as you say that before you start like charging them, before you exchange the money, the transaction, then they already have it expected in their brain. They've already agreed to it in advance. The only time that there would be an unmet expectation or frustration, or they join, like I remember thinking too, it's like, well, I'm going to sell a group coaching program, but I don't have a group. Who's going to buy that? And feeling like that feels uncomfortable, but every group coaching program started that way. At some point, they didn't have someone in it. So you just let them know this is new, but this is why that's better for you, because I'll be able to give you more attention until there's more people that come. And that actually creates an urgency within your clients to be like, wow, I want to join this fast because other people will fill up and they want to be a part of this. And so it actually helps you to get more clients, some of your the first people going through. And as you get results for that one person, then you're able to use those testimonies to go share with more people. You're able to use those reviews to increase your revenue, to increase referrals, to have repeat buyers. And then as they go through it, what's powerful about that is you've actually documented the process of what you've done to help those individuals. And as they get a result, people are like, I want that result. And you're able to share, hey, by the way, you'll get access when you join my group coaching program. You're going to get access to the exact trainings that I provided this clients to be able to get the result that you desire most. So there's a lot of benefits of ways that you can frame it and sell it. And I was having a conversation with Dr. Kendra Lee before she came to me. She had a lifestyle center and she was struggling to keep the doors open, and she was actually spending more money than she was making. And you could see, like, some of you are here, you're building your business, but you're building it out of savings. It's not that the business is profitable yet, but you have other source of income, maybe a job, career, retirement, or spouse, something that there's another source of income coming to float your business expenses. That was her situation. And she saw that her income was going down, her income was not going up. And she's just like, if I don't figure this out, I'm going to have to close my doors. And she's like, I don't want to do that. This is my passion, my love, my joy. And we're like, I don't want you to do that too. But she realized that it was marketing that she was missing. She realized that if she doesn't make the money, she can't sustain her message. So what she did is she invested in our program. And I was able to do a deep dive on her business and see, well, where are her greatest opportunities? What's the fastest path to cash for her? And I saw that in her coaching program, she was doing one-on-one coaching. She was struggling to get one-on-one coaching clients for $1,500. And I shared with her, that's probably why it's been hard to get new clients, because your prices are too low. She's like, what? And I was like, yeah, what I would recommend is let's double your prices. Let's go to at least $3,000. And instead of doing one-on-one coaching, let's do a group coaching and invite them to be a part of that. And she's like, Enoch, I'm struggling to get one-on-one clients. How in the world am I going to get a $3,000 client in a group coaching if I double my price? And what she found very quickly is that what makes people have a hard time charging a premium for the health advice is not the price. The price is is not the issue. It's the value. So not only do we raise the price, we also raise the value and her ability to communicate the value of her program with a signature speech. We put that together, and then she was able, and then I shared with her exactly what to say over the phone so that people would be able to sell themselves and be interested in being a part of that program that she has. And she was able to get some of her first clients. She created a $3,000 offer, and I believe she got one person who said yes. I believe there's a second. And then the third call that she had, there was a woman who signed up herself, her husband, and her daughter in her coaching program. So she got 3 yeses to join her program all within like one call. So she started to get more clients, and she started to use the same principles to apply to her $500 program that she has. And she started selling those frequently. She'd get on our coaching calls. She's like, I got another client. I got 2 more clients. And now she was able to fill her group coaching program that she was doing, and using the same principles that we're sharing with you. And one of the things that she was most afraid of in the beginning was Dr. Kendra Lee was like, well, how do I sell a group coaching program? I don't have something. I haven't created it yet. So how does that work? What am I to sell? Because I don't have the recordings. I don't have the content library. I don't have... She was just thinking of these things that she doesn't have. And I asked her, I'm like, Dr. Kendra Lee, if you were going to sell one-on-one, then what is there to sell? Like, you're just going to show up on a Zoom call and have the conversation and just walk them through your process, right? And coach them. She's like, yeah. It's like, well, you don't have anything recorded for that. The only difference between selling one-on-one coaching and your first group coaching clients is that you do the exact same thing you would have done with a one-on-one client, but you hit record. With their permission in advance, before they pay, you let them know this is a group coaching program, but in the beginning, we're going to do one-on-one. The same thing you would have done with one person, you hit record. And by the end of coaching that one person, your first client, through a result, now you've got yourself an asset. Now you have a boot camp, an on-demand coaching program that now you could put into a members area. And the second person who comes to your program, they're able to go through that training, and as they get stuck, you can do office hours. You can do office hours to help answer questions, get people unstuck, help them to maintain momentum, share wins, collect reviews. These office hours are going to help them to implement the on-demand coaching that you've now provided in your membership. That's the only difference. But instead of waiting to get paid for your health advice, now you're getting paid to create your health program. And this is the most ethical thing that you can do, knowing that they're going to get far more value from paying you to coach them through a result than they would if you just created the training in a vacuum. If you just recorded in a studio without a live audience, without interacting with people, then yeah, you have a teaching energy, but you don't really have a learning energy. That learning energy where the dynamics and the enthusiasm, the excitement, the concerns, the questions, and seeing how you're able to address them and walk someone through a process, that's what you're encapsulating. And now people get to go on that journey together. What you did for one, you can now do for many because you recorded it. And she's like, okay, I could see how that could work. I could see how that would be beneficial. And so she got the courage, and both her and Melanie were able to come together, and they learned a lot from each other's questions. And then she went off and she started making her first sales. And this is what the power is of being able to create a group coaching program. There's so many things that happens when you're able to share in a group. The benefits for your clients are far beyond, like, yeah, there's amazing benefits for yourself, but let's be honest, like, we're in business to serve people and help them and make the greatest impact that we possibly can for our clients. And if that's your desire, and you want to be able to make as much money as you would like to live the lifestyle that you desire while serving people, then group coaching model is just one of the best that I know of to create an infinitely scalable business model to serve people at scale. And I would recommend actually starting with a group coaching model, and with that, charge at least $3,000. And then be able to record that, walk people through the process, and you can grow from there. Because by learning how to sell a $3,000 program, you don't have to wait trying to to make ends meet selling like $5 supplements, or like supplements you get like $5 of profit from, or like a $200 course. So you got to sell a high volume in order to make some significant income. Because really, if you look at just $3,000, it only takes 3 sales a month to make 6 figures in your business. And if you get 3 sales a month, that's $9,000 a month. 9,000 times 12 months in a year, that's $108,000. $108,000. Congratulations, you already have a 6-figure business, all with just 3 sales a month. Now, do you think out of 8 billion people in this world that it's in the realm of possibility for you to find just 3 sales a month of people who would want to pay you for their transformation? Yeah. So this is, if you would like some help on this journey, I want to invite you to attend the High Income Health Expert Challenge. We do it every month. And on this challenge, we're going to help you to exactly know how to package your knowledge into premium programs. We're going to show you how to not just raise your price, but how to increase the value. The same challenge that Melanie started with, that Dr. Kendra Lee started with, they all went through this challenge, was able to find their breakthrough and reach new heights than ever before. This is a great starting point if you're looking to monetize your health knowledge online and you want to make a difference in the lives you're called to serve. Just go to highincomehealthexpert.com, or you could text the number on the screen, or just comment the word challenge down below, and I'll send you an invite. And this isn't just one of those massive challenges with hundreds of people in there. You're just going to be lost. This is I like to call this the red carpet challenge, because here we're going to roll out the red carpet. And when you upgrade to the VIP ticket, we're going to support you, answer your questions, help you in this small group. We like to keep it close knit, like small, so that people can really get the questions are answered. We can dig into your business, the specifics of your challenges, your desires, your dreams, goals, your audience, and we get really clear during these 5 days. It's free to attend, it's general admission, but the VIP upgrades, it's only $47, and people have found that it is, like, I have a guarantee that if you don't love it, you can leave it. If you show up for each of the days, you have your camera on and you're participating, and if at the end of the 5 days you don't absolutely love the VIP, then we'll happily reimburse you for your ticket and we can still be friends. But I've never had someone ask for a refund who've gotten the VIP. Each person who's been a part of it has just loved it tremendously. And this is the invitation I'd like to share with you. Today we're talking about why it's good to stop doing one-on-one coaching and what you could do instead. So if you like the video, just like and subscribe. Follow me for more videos like this. I release a new one every Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you get your health message to the masses. So remember, friends, God doesn't call a qualified, He qualifies a called. Have a great day, and God bless.